Letter from an advice column to the Chicago Sun-Times by somebody named Ellie Tesher. Here's the letter. Dear Ellie, I've been married to the man of my dreams for 25 years. Yet I recently found someone on the internet and met him several times for sex. My husband discovered this. I'm confused. I love my husband, but the internet guy is intriguing because everything is new and exciting. I'm afraid if I leave my husband, I'll soon realize I made a horrible mistake. Was it reality or fantasy? Signed, Sleepless. And Ellie writes back, Dear Sleepless, wake up and apologize to your husband. Your fantasy is hurtful reality. Internet guy has no other place in your life than the fleeting moments of sex. He hasn't looked after you and truly loved you. Your only connection was a temporary escape from real life, and you know little about him. By contrast, your husband has clearly lived up to all his responsibilities to you, along with your dreams of him. You'll be lucky if he's willing to continue. Hey, it's beyond lucky. How stupid would he be to take her back? Now that she's past her expiration date, it's time to give her a good swift kick through the uprights. A good swift kick. This is something I don't understand. Now, understand where I'm coming from right now. I am not in a relationship. I am not married. I live alone. I live alone happily. And I have avoided getting into any kind of hardcore long-term relationship now for some time. Haven't been in one. Love it. There's any number of reasons for this, but let's take this stupid letter as an example. No doubt the letter writer wants to know what her husband is doing and probably asks where he is. At some point in time, kept tabs on him to a certain extent. Now, when she had the opportunity to skip out on him and have a little fun, she did it. And, oh, she's upset that her husband discovered it. I'm afraid if I leave my husband. If you leave your husband, you'll be lucky. You'll be lucky. What she says is true. You'll be lucky if he doesn't leave you. And he'd be an idiot to stay. An idiot. GPS, always asking where you are, where you're going, who are you with, what are you doing, how late are you going to be out, when are you getting back? Well, then when they decide they want to meet somebody on the internet, or they want to be with an old boyfriend, or they want to be with some high school sweetheart, or they want to have an afternoon with a tennis instructor, or whatever, they just go ahead and do it. And they think we should be sitting here waiting for them when they get back. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right? So my attitude about all this is, look, I'm not going to be stupid enough to get into a permanent relationship with anybody again, a quote-unquote permanent relationship. You know, one that's intended to be permanent, and invariably for me, they never have been, of course, because if one was permanent, I'd still be in one. I'm not even going to get into that pretense again. But if I ever did, the minute somebody does this to me, I'm not going to counseling. I'm not going to the therapist. I don't want to talk it over. It's done. Done. Totally done. And yes, if I were in a relationship today, I would spy on you on the computer. I would install the software. Even though it's probably illegal to do it without your knowledge, I would do it anyway. I would find out who and what you were doing, and that would be it. I'd kick you the hell out of there, and I'd be done with you. It's not an accident that I'm so happy alone these days because I don't have to deal with the drama or the crap. Just tired of it. I can't believe you're not tired of it. So if you had a relationship and somebody did this to you, like met someone on the internet or, you know, did her best male friend or your best friend or, you know, just just kind of fell out of sight one afternoon and got it on with somebody, would you be wanting to fix that? Would you want to patch that up? You want to go to counseling and talk it over? At this point in my life, I'm done talking. I'm done. I talk for a living. I don't want to come home and be talking all the time. I want to come home and be quiet. I don't want to have to be discussing these issues all the time. It's pretty outrageous. I just can't believe this letter. I'm afraid if I leave my husband, I'll soon realize I made a horrible mistake. You already made the horrible mistake, you idiot. You married the guy, the man of your dreams for 25 years. Then you find somebody on the internet and you go get poked by him, too. Now you're confused. Idiot. I hope he leaves you and nails your 10 best friends. Because that's what you deserve. If somebody screws around on you, do you want to talk it over? Have you done that recently? Recently. I'm not talking about 10 years ago. Recently. Somebody screw around on you and then you're going to sit there and talk it over and go to counseling and figure it out how you feel, see how you feel about it? I'm going to talk to people like you. This is Josh on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Great.
Hey, before I tell you what happened, the way it all came out is because of you. I started my own business because of you and got a lot of courage and everything. And what happened is I was working out in Maricopa, and my fiance at the time thought that I was out in Maricopa, and I happened to take a job in Surprise where I live. And I stopped by the house, and when I got to the house, there was a cable company there. And I went in the house, and she was having sex with the cable guy.
Uh-huh.
And so I walked in, and I saw them having sex, and the look on their face was priceless. I wish I had a camera. And I walked up to the guy. Instead of getting angry, I shook his hand, told him thank you, and looked at her and said, you got 2 hours to get your stuff out, or it's all going in my dump truck, and I'm taking it to the dump. And
how did she react? No, don't do that.
Yeah, she flipped out. We can work this out. I'm so sorry. It's not what it seems, and I love you.
It's not what it seems. Yeah, I love it.
It was fantastic.
Now, you're 22, Josh. If you learned from the show, why did you have a fiance?
I had got into that before I started listening to you.
Uh-huh.
And when you came on the air here, I listened to you a couple times, and then I didn't, and then I started listening to you again. And
when you first listened, you thought I was crazy or wrong, or I didn't know what I was talking about. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I'm like, this guy, he's on drugs or something. And so I gave you another shot, and it started making sense and clicking, and I was actually really looking just to end it anyways, and it just happened to end.
Now do you see why I tell you at 22 you should not be having a fiancé or a girlfriend?
Nothing. I got my own house, my own business, and I get more ass in a toilet seat.
That's perfect.
I just want to say thanks. You're the best.
Josh, I'm proud. Thank you. We can work this out. It's not what it seems. Give me a break. Tiffany on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
There.
Hey.
I have a question. I have been dating somebody for about a year. We started having sex fairly quickly. He was always very honest and saying, I'm not ready for a commitment. We try to keep it lighthearted. I know that he went on a couple of dates. Obviously, they didn't pan out, and I believe that he started to develop feelings for me as I did him. But the last few months, it was kind of, getting close, pushing me away, back and forth. And every few weeks it was, I need a break, and I'm not ready to commit, and all I was asking for was exclusivity. I wasn't saying I wanted to get married. I didn't say I wanted to live with him. only that I wanted to feel secure in the relationship, that he wasn't seeing anybody else. Well, he's continued to be online, and although it's in...
I mean, not only continued to be online, he told you that he wasn't ready to commit.
Right.
So you, in the role of the female, somehow didn't hear that, or didn't pay attention to it, or chose to think that it means something other than what it means.
Right. So
what do you think that line literally means? I am not ready to commit. What does that mean?
It means he's not ready to commit.
And that means what?
And that means he's not ready to be exclusive.
It means he's going to have sex with other people.
Right. So my question is, we've broken up.
So he was online. You didn't tell us what he was doing online.
He was pursuing other women.
And what, he had like he had a profile online or something? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he would, I guess at times would be like, oh, it's not worth it. And then no sooner would he say that than somebody would email him or whatever. And so our last conversation was, I need to make sure that what I'm feeling for you is real. So I feel like he's compare shopping, I guess.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And so I'm trying to be very strong and give him his space, but I'm listening to you, and I have to tell you that I've been listening to you on and off for about 8 months, and usually after the first 15 minutes I get so angry with you that I turn you off. But obviously I keep going back to you, and you just happen today to be about internet and infidelity. But my question is, he wasn't he wasn't cheating on me because we didn't have a commitment.
Right.
So if he decides, however long or whatever, and if I do decide that I still have feelings for him, that he wants a commitment, does that fall in that realm of...
Well, I think everybody should continue to date around until they decide they're ready for that, and maybe they'll never be ready for that.
Right.
I'll tell you right now, I'll make this as a public announcement. I'll never be ready for that again.
Okay.
All right, I'm just making it real clear.
Okay.
Now, I may go periods where voluntarily, because the sex is so good and the person is so cool and easy to be with, that it just so happens that I'm only with them. Okay? But I'll tell you what, the minute they start asking questions or giving me a hard time, nagging, critiquing, complaining, that's it. Done. Right. I will continue to exercise my option and do whatever I want.
Right. He did say he had not slept around, nor have I. I have not.
But we don't know that he hasn't. He has to say that to you.
Yeah, exactly.
He has to say that to you because then you'd have this big dramatic scene that he doesn't want to have.
Right.
So don't assume that that's true.
Right.
He knows he has to say that. You need to know that he's saying it, and it may or may not be true.
Okay.
I mean, you told me he's gone on dates.
Yes.
Then he says it didn't pan out. Well, does that mean he had sex? He didn't like the chick, or the sex wasn't any good? I mean, he didn't have any sex.
He said he didn't have sex with them.
Mm-hmm. And do you think he'd tell you if he did?
I want to tend to say, yeah, he would.
I know you want to.
Well, no, just because I think that at those times, you know...
I want to believe in Peter Pan.
I just don't want to be delusional. You know, I want to have faith that if it's meant to be or whatever, and you know, of course I want him to come back wholeheartedly, that he wants to be in commitment. But
you see, here's what's happening. You are sitting there waiting for him. Who are you dating in the meantime?
Nobody.
Well,
and it's not like I don't get asked. I just choose.
That's where you're screwing up.
So I should start duty dating or start dating, and you know.
Yes. Are you one of these women who thinks dating is a chore and therefore it's easier just to wait for him to come around rather than now I have to go to all that trouble to start dating people again? I got to get dressed up. I got to cut my hair. I got to wax.
No, I think it's that the people that I've met, I start comparing, or I kind of.
Fine. So you'll be doing comparison shopping too.
You know, and so I choose to, you know, why screw up my head when my heart's with this person right now.
But your heart is with the person who's not with you.
Right, and so I feel like maybe I should just heal from that, lie low, and then, you know.
But you say you're lying low. That's not what you're doing. What you're doing is you're waiting for him to decide to come back to you.
I'm stupid.
Of course you are. Now, people always say, oh, you only advise men. I'm telling you, see other people.
Okay. Well,
you should not be sitting home waiting to see what he's going to do. Because I'm telling you what he's going to do and who he's going to do.
Right. And that's what happens. You start sitting there thinking, you know, you start getting anxiety over it.
Right.
You know, and it's
right, dear. Where are you going to be on February 14th?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I'll bet you have no idea.
No, I don't have no idea.
Yeah.
But I did hear your spiel just before Thanksgiving about your whole, and this person that I'm dating is a huge fan of yours.
Uh-huh.
So we have a lot of discussions and debates about, you know, your opinion on things. And so that was about the time that we were having all these problems. And so I called him up and said, hey, I'm listening to Tom Leykis, and I'm just wondering if you're seeking his adhering to his advice about the holidays. And so he called and left a message and says, as a matter of fact, I am listening. Doesn't have anything to do with us, but I'll call you on February 15th. And he goes, oh, wait, that's your birthday, February 16th. And it's always been like this joke. But now I'm thinking, I think he was serious.
Uh-huh. Did he spend New Year's Eve with you?
Yes, we did. And Chris, and I totally backed up. I let him pursue me. You know, I didn't call him on a daily basis. I started to let him call me, and he even hunted me down one day because I didn't call him back. And, you know, so I thought, oh, well, maybe he does care. And then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, he starts communicating with somebody, and then that's where I'm tired. That's where I'm done. Either you do or you don't.
Well, just, you know what? Just do your own thing.
Yeah. Alrighty, Tom. Well, thank you so much for your advice.
I'm here to help, darling. This is Sam. Hello.
Tom, this is Sam.
I know, I just said that.
How you doing?
Great.
Tom, this is my story. It started probably back in right at the beginning of 2006. I had been dating this girl for around 6 years. I started
Strike one.
Yeah, I know. I'm 28. Yeah, I know the numbers. It doesn't work out. I didn't start listening to you till pretty later on. Had a child with her. Strike two.
Strike two.
So I started getting suspicious, just, you know, overall disconnection and everything. And I work a pretty high-level job, so I'm pretty swamped with business all the time. So what I did was I'm in the computer industry, and I'm fairly you know, knowledgeable of these hack tools you can get and stuff like that. So I had downloaded a keystroke logger on the computer.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Oh, so wrong.
Yes. And for people that don't know what that is, let's tell them so that they know what not to do in the future. Tell everybody what a keystroke logger is.
Basically, the keystroke logger that I had, it runs in the background silently. There's no detection for the average computer user. They cannot even see the software running. But what it does is it logs to a file the page that they're on. It'll get the title of the page, and it'll also log all of what they've typed.
Passwords?
Everything.
You would be able to hack into her email? That's wrong.
It's so wrong.
That's called what again? A keystroke logger?
Yeah.
Folks, do not go online and download one of those.
Oh, no, not at all.
Don't. And by the way, what I especially don't want you to use is called Spectre Pro. First of all, it's $99.
Which is a free one from a good website you should never go to called Family Keystroke Logger.
No, don't do that.
I wouldn't do that either.
No.
But and it's not, you know, it's free, so.
Well, that doesn't mean it's any more right.
Yeah, exactly.
My God, getting your girlfriend's passwords and hacking into her email accounts, that would be wrong.
I don't know how I slept at night, Tom.
I don't know how you did it. All right, so you put a keystroke logger.
I put a keystroke
against my better judgment here that I've told you don't do that. You did it anyway, and what happened?
Basically, over a 3-month period, and I was very patient. I mean, I found out from day one right away that there was stuff going on. However, having a child, I wanted to make sure that I got him and didn't have to pay anything. Because I never married her, but I didn't want to pay her anything. So I collected lots and lots of emails. They sent pictures back and forth. I was able to log in and download the pictures. I mean, it was bad. It was really graphic, and it was hard for 3 months to do this.
So you're looking at naked pictures of her or the guy she was chatting with?
Well, the guy that she was with. She actually hooked up with this guy numerous times prior to me ever, finding all this out. Mm-hmm. So they had pictures together of each other. Oh, kind of.
See, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you get a keystroke logger. That's why I tell people you shouldn't be doing that.
Absolutely, and so basically I came to her, with all this basically folder of evidence saying, hey, I know exactly what you've been doing, and she, like most women, I'm not going to say everyone, but went right away to the lies, right away, with evidence in front of her, with pictures, with all this, totally lying. It was great. And, booted her out, and it's been...
And did she try... What was her excuse or explanation?
At that point, now that she was caught, I really didn't care to hear what her explanation was.
That doesn't mean she didn't try one.
It was that I wasn't around enough because, I have a high-level job. I mean, how do you think she was getting her nails done and getting her, all this nice stuff she had, I mean, it comes from somewhere,
So if you... Just for the other... Let's go back in time in your life. For the other 21-year-olds out there think it's a good idea to have a girlfriend and then to have a baby with her, how'd that work out for you, Sam?
It's been, he's great. My child's great, but it has been the toughest 4 years of my life since he's been around. And in general with her, I mean, I could tell you honestly, even before we had him, I wanted to end this, and then, being a dumbass, and I can't say that I wasn't a dumbass, but being a dumbass, I stuck around thinking, that this would help, whatever. It didn't. No, it's been challenging. It was no good for him for this to all go down.
Oh, you know what we say on the Tom Leykis show, Sam? No good deed goes unpunished.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Tom.
Oh.
So, to anybody, out there that does have that feeling that it might be happening, do not download one of those keystroke loggers because you will find out it is.
That would be wrong. Absolutely wrong. Yeah. Yeah, like the one I heard about called Spectre Pro. I think it's some website called SpectreSoft.com, and it's $99. By all means, do not be downloading that and trying to spy on your girlfriend. Because if you do, you might find out everything she's up to. All that stuff you've suspected, you might find out what it actually is. Do you really want to see naked pictures of the guys she's been banging? Do you really want her passwords? Do you want to be hacking into her email? She has a right to privacy, man. You don't do that. You do not do that. Installing this software on a computer without someone's knowledge is potentially illegal. And it's just plain, frankly, it's unethical. So if you ever find yourself on that website, SpectreSoft.com, do not download this program. Don't. Holy cow, you don't want that happening. Jennifer on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, dear.
I just wanted to say thank you because I started listening to you and I started seeing things in my own relationship. My husband was having affairs online on AOL chat for almost 5 years.
Now, when you say he was having affairs online, did he actually meet these people? Or was he just dropping his drawers to his ankles and...
Well, first it started out with the chats, and then it started out with him sending out pictures, and then all of a sudden he was Peter Steele from Typo Negative, which, if you don't know, he's a very good-looking guy. And this guy, my ex-husband, is about 6'5" and over 360 pounds. Mm-hmm. And he was sending out these pictures that he was somebody else the entire time.
Okay.
But it gets better because I was going to mention the keylogger also because there's a lovely little thing that you can search on Google that you can actually attach to the back of your computer, and that way it doesn't have a program that has any sort of interference, and it can catch everything right there. Because I was going to do that, and then the girl started calling me, and I started finding out that he told everybody I was dead. He told them that my son was dead. He told them that his dad was dead and that he had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Good work.
Yeah, so I need an excuse to leave, so I went into his email because I worked tech support for almost 10 years. I know what to look for, so I went in there and I clicked around, and all of a sudden I started getting IM pop-ups, and all these girls were coming to me, and I informed them that I was the wife, and they're like, you can't be, you're dead. I was like, yeah, I am. I'm alive. Here I am. This is what's going on. And then I talked to him on the phone. So I found out everything.
Wow.
You like that?
You spied on him.
No, he was an idiot and left his passwords saved on the computer on AOL. And I just happened to hit sign on, and it signed on.
But I thought you had some gadget you hooked up on the back of your computer.
No, I was thinking about that, but I went to the simple method because he wasn't that intelligent.
I see.
To hide stuff. So I ended up getting everything I needed by just hitting sign on AOL and having those IMs pop up.
So when you caught him, what was his reaction?
Oh, I put a note on the door because he was coming home from work, and I did all this on my day off. He was coming home from work, and I put a note on the door that said, sorry to hear your dad's dead, that I'm dead, your son's dead, that you have cancer. Go to your mom. She's expecting you.
Look at that.
And that was it. It was done.
Unbelievable. Jennifer, hello.
Hello, Tom. First of all, before I go on with my talk, I want to tell you, I saw you inside of a bus the other day, and you're a good-looking guy. You look completely different than what I thought you'd ever look like. But, you know, you listen to someone for years, and you just kind of get an image in your head, and then you see the real thing. But anyway, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Been with my husband 22 years, been married for 18 years, have 2 children. I feel that he's cheating, but he is a coward and will not admit to it. I've come across different things, this and that. When I got married, I made a commitment. I was in for the long haul. When I had kids, I made a commitment. I was in for the long haul. How stupid is it of me to think that I should stay in it for another 3 years, that my younger son, when he turns 18, it will be 3 years from now, and at that point, then I just go on my way.
Well,
I just don't think I just think that when you have children, regardless what people say, I think when parents go through a divorce, I mean, there's no screaming and yelling going on in the house. Whatever happens is between the two of us. He is a great father. He's a bad husband right now. But I just think I don't want to screw up my kid's life. Is that wrong? You know, it's my friends tell me I'm a sucker, that I shouldn't do this.
Well, I think people forget. People like you forget you've got only one life. I see her on the screen, you're 42. What, are you going to wait till you're 52 to get out?
For 3 years, so I should get out.
Dear, you have only one life to be happy. This is it.
And as far as from your experience with talking to other people and stuff, you don't think the kids will be overly affected? And I'm not going to totally screw up
look,
their life,
if this were 1972, I'd give you a different answer. But nowadays, kids go to school, at least half the kids come from broken homes. In fact, if your kids go to a public school where there is a preponderance of minorities, chances are it's a larger number than that.
All right. I wanted your opinion.
It's not like they haven't heard of divorce.
I just, you know, I've always been totally against divorce, and I think people don't really, I think it's an easy excuse these days, and I don't think people exhaust their means before they go for that.
Daryl, so what are you going to do? Try to fix this?
I mean, put it this way. You are as blunt can be. This man is telling me he's fallen out of love. He's blaming everything on me. He's got a password now on his cell phone.
Time to go!
The Tom Leykis Show.